Hello, I'm Barbara Hochstead, co-president of the League of Women Voters of Roselle-Bloomingdale. Welcome to Elementary School District Consolidation, the pros and cons of consolidating the 5 elementary districts that feed into Lake Park High School. In preparation for our community event, we reached out to each district's superintendent, school board, PTO, and teachers union president to make them aware of our study and our community meeting. We issued a press release and did extensive social media work to engage our service area. The 35 elected school board members serving the communities of Bloomingdale, Itasca, Keeneyville, Medinah, and Roselle must understand what we are sharing with you today, as they will make the decisions about how things are structured moving forward. First, allow me to share a little bit about the League. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization. In our 100-year history, we have never endorsed a political party or a candidate for office. Our mission is to empower voters and defend democracy. We do this by encouraging informed and active participation in government through education and advocacy. Our education programs increase the public's understanding of major policy issues. Our advocacy initiatives involve building relationships with and contacting elected public officials. The League's education and advocacy work together to teach voters how to engage fully with researched, nuanced decision-making in government policies. Membership in the League is open to anyone, regardless of gender, race, or ethnicity. Voter concerns over Illinois high property tax rates prompted the League of Women Voters of Roselle-Bloomingdale to conduct a study on school district consolidation in our service area in 2023. The end of the pandemic relief funding, growing expectations for academic offerings, costly accountability measures, and declining student populations, lagging achievement, and high property taxes compel us to ask this question: are we getting the most out of every education tax dollar? The League of Women Voters advocates for an issue only when we have a position on it. If members have not studied an issue and come to a consensus, the League has no position and therefore cannot take action. The League studies are a defined process lasting 1 to 3 years. They involve a thorough pursuit of facts and details, both positive and negative. After a year-long study, the League of Women Voters of Roselle-Bloomingdale established a position that supports the efficient and effective operation of school districts through both school district consolidation and intergovernmental agreements. Our position established these criteria. Specifically, will the proposal result in a projected education cost savings, a better use of administrative costs, a reduction in Illinois taxing bodies, a positive effect on long-term taxation, consistent employee contracts, and an increase in professional development, social and economic justice, and most important, student learning outcomes. Our presentation will share background information on school district consolidation. It will detail the benefits of consolidation and introduce some cons or considerations, and finally, the League recommended action. The program will, Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Donna Limper, our Issues and Advocacy Chair. Donna will take you through our study findings. Donna?
Thanks, Barb. National statistics show there are more than 850 school districts in Illinois. That's the 3rd highest number of school districts in the nation, behind Texas at 1,022 and California at 977. However, Illinois has significantly lower enrollment at less than 2 million students versus over 5 million students for the other 2 states. This imbalance in number of districts and number of pupils is often cited as a driving factor for Illinois' high property taxes. To better understand the percentage of your property taxes that go to education, we pulled 2022 residential property tax bills from one home in Roselle and one home in Bloomingdale. As you can see, Education taxes represent 2/3 or more of your property tax bill. A 2018 Illinois State Statistical Analysis analyzed the effect of district size in Illinois on two variables, student achievement and district expenditure. The results showed district size had a low positive effect on student achievement. A bigger district will have slightly higher achievement. However, district size has a moderate effect on district expenditure. A larger district will spend less. In short, district size matters in school finances. North Carolina University summarized the available research on optimum school district size. The consensus is optimum school district size operates along a U-shaped curve. Districts are very inefficient when they're small. There's this sweet spot in the middle, and efficiency drops off as districts get larger. We found literature reviews with differing conclusions of optimum district size, but they ranged from 2,000 students to 6,000 students. Let's keep those numbers in mind, 2,000 to 6,000, as we look at the size of the 5 elementary feeder districts to Lake Park High School. There are 42 school districts in DuPage County. 27 of those districts have fewer than 750 students, including Medinah School District 11 and Roselle School District 12. These districts were formed when much of DuPage was rural with small towns. They no longer represent a cost-efficient educational structure for our high-density suburban communities. Importantly, student enrollment is down. In 2020, the county educated 180,000 students. In 2022, the county's student population declined to just 150,000 students. Smaller districts with declining student populations such as ours have the most to gain from consolidation. Before we go much further, we want to emphasize we are not in favor of a unit district. A unit district is when you combine an elementary district with a high school district in a vertical integration. When we considered a unit district, we discovered that consolidation requires each consolidating district to match the teacher salaries of the highest paid district. There's a larger difference between the salaries of high school and elementary teachers, so moving to a unit district is not as advantageous from a financial standpoint. Another concern would be the difficulty for school boards to choose expense allocations between elementary and high school needs. In other words, crayons versus football helmets. In addition, we do not recommend consolidating any schools or changing school boundaries. As part of our study, we talked with parents from larger school districts, and we found that each elementary and middle school in these larger districts had unique personalities and a neighborhood feel. We are strong supporters of local schools and local identity. Loss of local identity from elementary district consolidation is minimal. Our recommendation and panel discussion tonight is solely focused on consolidating administrative expenses. No one will lose their local schools. As we investigated district consolidation, we found some troubling financial factors. The majority of school district revenue, about 2/3, comes from property taxes, and property taxes are already at a relatively high level. Just as important, property tax funding among Lake Park High School feeder districts is unequal because home values are unequal between communities. In addition, each district's supply of commercial property tax revenue is also unequal. Last, building maintenance funds often reflect deteriorating balances. Rising utility costs and other facilities expenses are not easily passed along to taxpayers. If a district cannot pass a referendum, it is facing and potentially severe operating cuts that affect the classroom and our community students. Last, declining enrollment can cause a reduction in state revenue. Student enrollment in our area has been declining with an average decline of 3.2% among these 5 elementary feeder districts. So expenses are going up while revenues are declining, and asking more from property taxpayers to fund growing expenses is problematic. Here's the crux of the matter. Combining all the Lake Park High School feeder districts into a single district would result in a total student population of approximately 5,055 students, which would put us right in that sweet spot. Remember, 2,000 to 6,000. We looked at total administrative costs for a comparison district with similar enrollment. School District 58 in Downers Grove, this column on the right, you can see they have student enrollment of 4,802. Look at the numbers. Elementary School District 58 reported total administrative expenses in 2022 of approximately $1.5 million annually. The aggregate total administrative costs for all 5 elementary feeder districts is approximately $4.8 million. This suggests there are significant duplicate costs that could be eliminated for greater educational efficiency. I'm going to pause to let that sink in. $3.3 million annually in excess administrative costs. In addition to administrative labor costs, economies of scale could also be realized in areas such as purchasing, staffing, accounting, legal, construction, operations, and transportation. There may also be the potential to close some district administration buildings or make better use of buildings once they're open to a larger area. Let's look at administrative costs on a per pupil basis. Illinois policy reports that Illinois spends $631 per pupil on district administration, which is more than double the national average. Among the Lake Park High School feeder districts, district administration per pupil runs from a high of $1,269 per pupil in Itasca. Itasca had the highest, to a low of $621 per pupil in Bloomingdale. If you average them all together, it's $992 per pupil. In comparison, Downers Grove School District 58, with that optimal district size, spends only $321 on district administration per pupil, which is in line with the national average. There's another potential for significant savings. Under Illinois' pension plan system, pension payments are based on the highest average salary earned during the last 4 to 8 consecutive years out of the last 10 years of service. In contrast, Social Security calculates benefits based on 35 highest indexed earning years. Those provisions give retiring school administrators a pension boost, since their retirement benefits are based on a relatively narrow earnings window. As a result, some highly paid superintendents could receive pension payouts that total many times the contribution they pay into the system. Using Taxpayers United of American data, we can look at pension data for 4 superintendents in our study area. 4 former superintendents, sorry. Estimated lifetime payments range from just over $3 million to about $7 million. The critical number to look at, however, is the employee deposits as a percent of lifetime payout. It's low, ranging from just 3% to 10%. While pension payments do not count toward district finances, they do contribute to the overall tax load of Illinois taxpayers. Since superintendent contracts tend to run from 3 to 5 years, educating school boards and the community on administrative cost savings should be done sooner rather than later. Next, I want to look at special education costs and risk management. Special education is expensive. Nationwide, special education costs almost twice as much as general education. A Duke University study found that if you put special needs children in early education programs, it reduced the likelihood they would need special education in third grade by 39%. In addition to educational benefits for those students, fewer special needs students can have long-term financial benefits. Our feeder districts currently use the services of two special education cooperatives, NEDSEC and SASED, because they're too small to fund those services in-house, requiring even more administrative layers. Consolidation could reduce the need for these expensive alternatives. A larger district could bring more of these services in-house and even turn it into a revenue generator. Last, the cost of educating one student with extraordinary special needs would not be concentrated in a single small district. That risk could be spread across a larger tax base and a more efficient administrative structure. Research shows that high-quality teachers are the most important factor in school-based student learning. As parents, we know how much we value a good teacher. Across the country, education is facing a shortage of principals, teachers, and paraprofessionals that is nearing crisis level. The pandemic, political, social, emotional, and academic battles have together led to universal levels of exhaustion for our frontline educators. There are high rates of exodus from these professionals and a lack of candidates to fill those positions. These shortages mean competition for high-quality educational staff will be high. Redirecting salary expenses from administration to higher frontline salaries may be beneficial in attracting the highest quality staff, and high-quality staff lead to high-quality academic outcomes. In addition, a larger district can provide greater professional development and support to attract, train, and retain high-quality teachers. There are other value-added benefits. Consolidating all 5 Lake Park High School feeder districts will improve consistency among them as our children head to the very same high school. It will also improve articulation between the high school and our currently fragmented feeder districts. Education articulation is the continuity of curriculum, instruction, and assessment across a child's entire academic experience from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Better articulation can greatly increase the quality of educational programming and learning progress for all students. In addition, a broader student base can allow for increased offerings in both curricular and extracurricular programming. For example, additional teachers could be shared among schools for advanced math and gifted education, foreign languages and music, reading specialists and differentiated curriculum. This is a big one. We are having lots of students who cannot read at grade level. Tutoring and after-school programming, technology, and/or a STEM academy. The opportunities are endless. In the study area, for example, Roselle School District 12 is the only middle school with a marching band. Keeneyville School District 20 has a thriving gifted and talented program. Pockets of excellence can be studied and shared. Every district has outstanding teachers who could be used as shared instructional coaches. Such cooperative staff development could maximize student outcomes at a lower teacher training cost because you're using in-house excellence. Illinois is highly motivated to consolidate school districts. In addition to contributing over $15,000 to the cost of an expert study, which means the cost of a study would be free to our districts. It offers 4 other state funding incentives. A consolidated district may be eligible for evidence-based funding differences, teacher salary differences, deficit fund balance, and a $4,000 award per full-time certified staff. This is very significant dollars on the table. Again, this study would be free to our districts because of these state incentives. Understanding what will occur with long-term debt and facilities within a consolidated district is critical. In consolidation, the long-term debt of previously existing districts stays within the district that incurred the debt until the bond issue is paid off. Let's look at facilities needs and long-term debt for each district. In 2020, Itasca School District 10 taxpayers approved the district borrowing about $27 million for school construction projects. Their remaining long-term debt of about $25 million would be taxed against original School District 10 properties as they existed before consolidation, and so on for each original district. Now let's look at Medinah. In 2011, for the third time in 7 years, voters in School District 11 rejected a multi-million-dollar tax increase for school improvement, which is why their debt is lower. Now, Roselle. In 2017, Roselle School District 12 successfully passed an operating rate referendum that repaired the district's two 1960s era schools and helped fix its finances after years of budget deficits. Bloomingdale School District 13's low long-term debt reflects aging facilities that will need a significant infusion of capital funding. That district is exploring a capital spending referendum currently. Keeneyville Elementary District 20's debt level reflects multiple investments in upgrading its facilities, including the district of an innovation center. We do not think it fair to pass on debt for elementary school upgrades in one district onto property taxpayers in another district. We believe facilities upgrades should be addressed before consolidation. Let's talk about considerations and cons as they relate to our community so we can have a balanced examination of the issue. A drop in average student achievement data in some elementary districts would occur if this testing base is broadened to include lower achieving districts. However, redirecting administrative expense to early intervention could yield significant academic and financial results and lead to better achievement at the high school level, where everybody ends up. Also, individual schools still have individual report cards, so that one shouldn't concern us too much. When consolidating districts, teacher salaries need to be renegotiated to match the pay scale of the highest paying district. We looked at bachelor degree pay scales, which range from $43,000 to $49,000 for the study area at the time of our study. Our districts, they're aware of, and they try to keep salaries consistent across the area. More important, as I mentioned before, with a crisis shortage of frontline teachers, redirecting expenses from administration to frontline educators can ensure that our students get the best educators. So this consideration is a benefit in the current climate. People may be concerned about a loss of identity. We've discussed that we are not closing schools and that individual elementary and middle schools retain their unique identities. So again, we don't consider this consideration a con. Loss of school control is an issue, however. The new school board that would be elected for a consolidated district could be chosen with proportional representation to mitigate this loss of control. We'll explain this further in the next slide. The biggest consideration, our view, is long-term debt fairness and facilities upgrades. We believe upgrades in School District 11 and School District 13 should be completed before consolidating those districts. How you consolidate is critical to generating desired outcomes. Best practice and implementation is to allow a minimum of 1 year between voter approval of the merger and the effective date. A slow transition would give districts time to engineer a smooth transition. In addition, current administrative employees should be housed under one roof and held harmless for the first 2 years. This allows for better focus on merging each district's strengths. It also gives eliminated administrators time to find another position or to eliminate through attrition. Such a timetable would allow all communities and individual school districts greater comfort in adjusting to the change. Change is hard. Now for the school board. Consolidations are a form of reorganization where a new school district is created. Following consolidation, a school board for the new district is elected. To reduce loss of local control, it is possible for a consolidated school board to be not to be elected at large, but to be elected through proportional representation. Proportional representation restricts the number of school board members that can be elected from any given area. Reserving 5 seats for proportional representation would ensure that the consolidated school board would be representative of all areas in the high school attendance boundaries. The remaining 2 seats can be elected at large. What are intergovernmental agreements? In 2022, Governor Pritzker signed the Decennial Committees on Local Government Efficiency Act. This law fosters intergovernmental agreements that lower the cost of government. It does so by requiring an annual report that summarizes attempts to improve fiscal efficiency, either through sharing services or through outsourcing. Rising school expenses has caused many Illinois districts to engage in these kinds of cooperative agreements to reduce expenses. As the consolidation process can take years, intergovernmental agreements should be accelerated, both to realize cost savings sooner and to smooth implementation. Quickly adopting intergovernmental agreements are particularly important for districts that need funds to fix or upgrade its facilities. I'm going to turn the presentation back to Barb to conclude.
Thank you, Donna. As part of our conclusion, it's important to note that administrators with high salaries and pensions are often the chief opposition to more efficient school districts. Please be aware that best practices and implementation can ensure that all our administrators will be able to find jobs. When districts of different socioeconomic profiles combine, concerns tend to arise from the more prosperous systems. Multiple research studies show that if a student does not perform at grade level by 3rd grade, he or she will never catch up, and low-performing students can become behavior problems in elementary, middle, and at the 9th grade level of high school, where all of our students end up. Redirecting administrative expenses to the classroom will raise all boats, and raising all boats matters. We are educating the future workforce of our local economy and our country. After completing our year-long study, we believe the pros outweigh the cons and that all 5 Lake Park High School feeder school districts should jointly commission an expert study. To repeat, we believe the critical decision factor centers on the reality that all 5 elementary districts feed into the same high school. We are one community, the Lake Park High School community. In conclusion, the League of Women Voters of Roselle-Bloomingdale recommends the Lake Park High School feeder district school boards undertake a joint formal school district consolidation study to merge all 5 elementary districts. The report should determine the district consolidation impact on administrative savings, economies of scale, facilities considerations, including technology, long-term debt, and new property tax rates over a 5 to 10 year period. It should also provide commentary on estimated state pension savings. As we mentioned, The state funds school district consolidation studies with grants of more than $15,000. The cost for a 5-district study from a highly qualified consultant would be fully funded by the state of Illinois. None of the 5 elementary feeder districts would bear any cost to investigate reorganization. We urge you, please contact your local school board to encourage them to investigate consolidation of your district. So thank you. Thank you for watching our webinar. And for more information, please visit us at www.lwvrb.org. Thank you.